you had a lot of strong females around you, strong women around you.
Yeah.
Did that help you come to understand what women are like? Because
no,
some girls just
it didn't help at all.
No?
No, it didn't help at all.
Every other night, I lie.
So my name is Life. I am a musician from West London. I make what would I call it?
I feel rough.
It's hip hop, but it's like 90s hip hop, like raw, unapologetic, uncompromised hip hop.
Supernatural and superhuman, still improving.
I say I'm Ghanaian to people. If I meet you for the first time, I'll say I'm Ghanaian, but I'm not really Ghanaian. I'm from St. Kitts. I was adopted, so like my biological mum is Kittitian, she's from St. Kitts. My adopted mum's Ghanaian, so every year we would go there, and that's what I know, that's home. I don't have any memories of my actual mum, because I was too young, I got adopted at 2. As far as I'm concerned, that's just my mum. My sister and I, we're twins, we come from a big family of twins. There's 6 of us, 3 sets of twins. Me and my immediate twin are the youngest, and we got adopted separately. So the other 4, they were raised in Peru, but we were raised in West London. Born and bred in West London. That's where all the music was founded, that's where all the dreams were like, you know, seeded. It's West London. The one person who I would say changed the trajectory of my life would be my mum, the woman who adopted me. It's just the way she does things, do you know what I mean? She sits on adoption panels from the time she adopted us till now, just because it's the new passion she had. And her main thing is just being at the forefront of that conversation. When you have like kids, right, who are, for the sake of the argument, they're black kids, right? When you have black kids who are adopted by people who are not of the same race, it's like a double-sided coin, because on one side it's like everyone needs a parent, right? On the other side it's like you don't factor in the important things that need to be taught to that specific kid, not just any kid, that specific one, right? Growing up, and a lot of people miss out on that, and the outcome can be disastrous sometimes. Some kids grow up and they have like identity issues. Some people, you know, get a bit unstable mentally. It's all of that I feel like could be saved. All I can do is just use what's around me. I didn't have a dad like, well, I did have a dad, but even then I didn't even cover that. When it was time to sign the adoption papers, the guy who my mum was with at the time, who would have been my adopted dad, they had a discrepancy and they just parted ways, right? So when it comes to raising my daughter in that aspect, I just look at my mum, because my mum's thing, man or woman, she just knows right from wrong, and that's what she taught me. So I just take that and I just, you know, implement as I go. Maya Angelou was the one who convinced my mum to adopt, because when she found out she had fibroids, that was the reason why she couldn't have kids, right? She was friends with Maya Angelou at the time. That's when she had first met her. And she just said to my mum, it was something along the lines of like, having a kid isn't just about the process of giving birth, it's about the chance to be a mum, right? And she was like, you should adopt, because you have to give someone a shot. She did it, she followed through with it. Maya Angelou couldn't believe that she actually listened and went through with the adoption. She had Thanksgiving, they celebrate Thanksgiving in America. So she invited my mum up there for the first time, and she went by herself, and then she said, where the kids? So the next year we went, and then we just started going every year. She had like these like massive parties in her house, and like Oprah would come through, and Quincy Jones, and like, I don't know these people, I'm too young to fathom that, but yeah, that was the vibe. And I just, as I grew older, I kind of understood who she was.
Do you think it's important for young, I would say black people in the creative industry, to understand or to study the pioneers like Maya Angelou and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was talking about that in the studio the other day. I feel like the reason why some people's run or some people's career doesn't turn out the way they want is because they haven't made the effort to actually go to the roots, do you know what I mean? And whether that could be finding out the roots of the people that make the music you love and find out how it was made, or just like expand your knowledge in that regard. People don't want to do that, they just think, I can rap, so I'm just gonna get up and do it. But there's no root to what you're doing, so it's not gonna grow the same.
How did you overcome the feeling of not knowing who your biological parents are, and how do you shape your own identity then, or what has helped you to form your own identity?
Yeah, do you know what it is? I I haven't overcome that. I don't think I have, to be honest with you. That situation is something that you need to be prepared for, right? Because you don't know what you're going to walk into. It's a tricky one if you haven't, because I haven't made a conscious effort to actually go back and say, all right, cool, I'm going to go and find it, I'm going to look for it. My sister has, my twin sister, but she's just in a different bag, she's in a different space. Obviously, as a man, the unknown will still, like, it'll double back on you every now and again, do you know what I mean? Every couple of years or every couple of months, you just have that thought, do you know what I mean? But I'm just in a space where, like, when I know I'm ready to go and do that, I'll go and cover that ground. That you can't rush that just needs to be at the right time. I could all do it in 10 years, I could do it tomorrow. I went to a school called the Oratory, and there weren't any black people in there, basically. The only other black guy in the school was in my class, and he was just my friend, he was from South. I was just writing poetry at the time, and he was like, no, that's dope. But he was the first person to ever say that. Like, before, poetry was cool, but it wasn't, I didn't have anyone who ever heard, like, rap in it. Does that make sense? It was always like, oh yeah, you do poetry, but he was like, that's dope, that needs to be like on some hip hop stuff. It was rolling with him and just being around him. He was the main one that kind of gave me that confidence.
Thoughts about death and I can't be afraid. I'm shook of repercussions, caught in my dream. I'm caught in between two chicks, a boy in my seed. I'm balancing question. I've got a balanced manic depression.
I can see it happening, but you know what needs to happen before that? I feel like they need to actually respect it. They don't respect it. That's why they don't. I'm talking about people who would be in a position to incorporate it into, like, a syllabus or like a curriculum of some sort, right? I feel like they have a respect for poetry. That's why a kind of respect they don't have for rap, whether it's the, like, bravado rap comes with, or the image, or the videos or whatever, but there's a stigma with that, and they don't wanna ease that up. So I feel like it could happen, but I feel like it takes a mind who isn't scared to just say, all right, that's what it comes with, but that's not the truth about it. We're taking the good out of it, and it takes someone like that. But I feel like it's possible, for real, for sure.
Check mine, even though I can't see them. Even though I can't check in just to see my little girl breathing, battling demons.
Common can't do no wrong, firstly, as far as I'm concerned. That's like my favourite rapper of all time. My main inspiration, what I draw from him the most, is less is more. When I listen to Common's music, he's similar to J Dilla in the sense of where the things that I like about him are things that he's not doing, if that makes sense. You know, like, when you listen to a J Dilla beat, a lot of producers are good and they've got this, that and the third happening, but J Dilla's music is so simple that it just makes you feel something. There's so much that he's not doing and you think, why is this so good? How have you done this? Do you know what I mean? And Common's like that, like, even with, like, the minimal ad-libs and stuff, the way he delivers the verse to make it cut through every single time. I think that's an art. Common, Nas, D'Angelo. D'Angelo don't know what I'd do to get in the studio with him. Obviously, beyond the music being amazing, his ear for the sonics is what just blew me away. Like, you can play like a 70s record and then AB reference that to a D'Angelo record, and the sonics are like up to par. If someone told you they made that 2 days apart, you're not gonna have an argument, do you know what I mean? Because it's just that good. You have to care about the music to a different degree, to go to that length to make sure your record comes out in a certain way, do you know what I mean? Not everyone cares about it that deep. And I just respected that. And I can't make music and not think like that because he's my favorite singer. So Jones is it's the last body of work I released. I'm really proud of it. I was working on it for maybe about 2 summers. 2 summers prior to it actually coming out was when I had started it. It was produced by this guy called Ahwlee. He's dope, he's out in LA, he's an American brother. I must have just got drawn out on SoundCloud one night, as you do. Some people are in the YouTube suggested videos, I'm just a SoundCloud fiend, so I was just on there. And I came across a beat, thought it was dope. I ripped it. I didn't ask, I stole it. I ripped it, and I made the song, yeah. I've sent it to him. Because to be honest with you, when it was Girls Don't Mind. Girls Don't Mind was the first Ahwlee beat I ever rapped on, right? But initially when I heard the beat, I just thought it was dope. It was part of a set. I ripped it, chopped it up, made the song, sent it to him. He lost his shit and I was like, all right, cool. At least I'm not in trouble for thievery. Yeah, man, he's dope. And after that song, I kind of tuned in and just wanted to make something that was just talking about love in like a real respectable way. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like people are scared to do that. I don't hear anyone doing it. Drake does it, but he gets 1,000 knives in the back for it. But I just feel like I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it in a way that was like I wanted the medium to be something I was passionate about. So a lot of people would want to do that, but it would have to be more R&B based because they feel like that's the only way to convey that message. I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it as if I was talking about the same shit that these other guys that don't talk about love are talking about. Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't hold back on it because I feel like if you're gonna do it that way, you just have to go all out and do it. We're there. Thank you. Need a few of these joints. The first one, Black Noise.
Mommy told me I'ma find it in church. I hug the Bible and my soul is just purse. My hurts, and I know I ain't around and it hurts. So when you miss me, come this verse or your curves.
That's mad. As a listener, I feel like if I'm gonna make it to the end of the record, that's solely based on the first track, right? So it just needs to hit straight away. And of all the projects I've done, I feel like Black Noise is a song where, if I can say so myself, I just feel like I nailed it. Like, even now when I listen to it, I'm like, this is ill.
I love that you can actually listen to your music, because I have some friends who make music who...
And they can't do it?
Yeah.
No, I have to, because that's the only way, that's how I know to improve it. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people like that as well. They make a song and they just don't want to hear it. Their friend could be playing it and they'll say turn it off. Do you know what I mean? And in my head it's like, what have you made it for then? When I make a song, I have to listen to it repeatedly, as a matter of fact, to be honest, because I need to, even though I would say it's finished, I'm still listening to things I can add. Maybe I need to take something out, do you know what I mean? Do you know what, in regards to my daughter and her listening to the music and stuff, I've always made the music in a way where anyone can listen to it, so it would never be a situation where I'm ashamed or anything. In more recent times, I've made a conscious effort to speak about things that are just a bit more insightful, a bit more substantial. So even if it's not on some preacher shit, when she listens to it, she at least knows she's being informed in some way. The parent thing is, that's another kind of tricky one, because there's no, well, there are rules, but there's no rules in a sense where, like, as long as you feel like you're just raising a child in the right way. I was fortunate enough to be raised to know wrong from right, and like fundamentally that's just the primary thing, right? I still don't know a lot. I'm still learning, do you know what I mean? I've made mistakes that I regret.
Could you touch a bit about, when you get to touch a bit about your relationship with your baby mum, just your like idea of love?
Yeah, she is like, so much backlog there, but she is like a very big inspiration, more than she knows actually, to be honest. She's like the first one who actually just put up with my shit, to call a spade, do you know what I mean? She just checks me, man. She just keeps me in check, and she's a solid woman. Inadvertently, so to speak, she's kind of taught me that you can't make love something, it's not water, it's not just going to take the shape of anything you put it in, right? Like, if you want things to be reciprocated, you actually need to pull your weight, you need to put your love where your mouth is, do you know what I mean? So yeah, and that's very hard to do naturally, especially being a man as well, because we got ego, right? There's pride and all of that kind of stuff in the pot. So I feel like to actually have a woman who could check you in that way and you don't feel defensive, it just feels natural. That's like, you can't pay for that. I feel like I have a good set of people around me. I feel like it's coming to a place where UK hip-hop is going to be more vast. When someone goes outside of England and says, do you listen to UK hip-hop? I feel like we're approaching a time where they're not just going to answer it with a set of names. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a bit more vast. There's loads of people that I could name. You have Tiny Mans, Lord Apex. Lord Apex he's been flying that flag for a minute. And while we're on the topic of me doing it, I have to hail him up, because he's another person who I looked at before I even met him. I've known him for about 10 years, but before I met him, I saw him doing his thing on Twitter. And I was like, oh, you're one of us. Kaiser, Kalashnikov, Low-Key, Poisonous Poets, Rodney P, Skinny Man, all these lot had been doing it, but they were older than me. I just found out about them late. Lord Apex was younger than me and he was on that, so I was like, oh shit, I need to be with you, kind of thing. I haven't been in the studio with him for ages, for about 3 years, since the last one we did. We shot a video for it, Fix the Feeling. And the guy who produced Fix the Feeling, he produced the entire record that song comes from. And he produced one of the new songs that I've got with Lord Apex. So the new music, the new project I'm kind of in the bag with now is basically like a part 2, so to speak, to the Fix EP.
Which artists can you predict doing really well?
This year, I think Lord Apex definitely is up there. Angel's gonna have a great year. Angel's just landed himself in a new situation, so he's gonna have a great year. I feel like Tiana Major 9 is going to mop this year up. She's getting it this year. And I'm very happy for her because I've seen that from like a good friend of mine, Progression. He like was producing all of the stuff from early and stuff, and I've literally just watched her like just blossom and blossom and blossom, and it's amazing. So her. And who else do I feel like? Me, hopefully, in God's will, if the stars align. Western, I feel like. I've got another guy called Gilly Heller, another friend of mine. He's got some sick music coming, so that should be dope too. To be honest with you, I haven't put like a spot on it in terms of where I want to be. I just know what I need to do this year, and wherever I end up being is just based on how I do what I've told myself I need to do, right? So it's just finishing up the music, getting it up. I need way more visuals. I need to go crazy on the visuals, and I just feel like that should put me more in the conversation that I need to be a part of. In regards to the next 5 years, for me, it's the same thing as this year, but times 10 in terms of like just having music as something that's like keeping every light on, not just downstairs. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be taking care of everything. I wanted to do like a mini pop-up tour, so like maybe like a couple of joints in Shoreditch for like a weekend or something. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. I've got a guy that's helping me out at the minute, so we're just fleshing it out and trying to see what we can do. But it's in the works, 1,000,000%. When I'm older, the one thing that I wish I would have, or I hoped to have kept up or stayed consistent with, would have been just to be a good person. I feel like that's very important. Regardless of what you go through, it's easy to get disgruntled and bitter because we're all human, but being good through everything, that's what I want to be like.
It's way warmer this time. Way warmer.
I love you. How this shit